My name is Elena, and I am 24 years old. I come from Spain and live in a small coastal town called Villamar with my family. Villamar is peaceful and picturesque, with cobblestone streets, whitewashed houses, and friendly neighbors. I enjoy my town, but deep inside, I've always longed for more. I dream of seeing the world, experiencing new cultures, and growing as a person. One of my biggest aspirations is to study in Sydney, Australia. In Villamar, I study English at a local community centre. My teacher, Senora Ruiz, often encourages me. Elena, your English is excellent. You should study abroad, she says. Her words fill me with confidence. I begin imagining my life in Sydney, a bustling city filled with opportunities. I picture myself walking along the harbour, attending classes, and practicing my English daily. One day, a sophisticated woman named Clara visits Villamar. She's from Madrid and exudes confidence. She speaks to our class about an incredible English school in Sydney. This school is the best, she says, showing us brochures with smiling students and modern facilities. You'll learn English quickly, and the experience will change your life. Her presentation captivates me. Clara hands me some enrollment forms and says, fill these out and send the payment to me. I'll handle the rest. She seems so professional that I trust her completely. When I tell my parents about the opportunity, they're hesitant. My father says, Elena, Sydney is far, and you don't know anyone there. Are you sure this is a good idea? My mother adds, Clara seems nice, but can you trust her? Be careful. Despite their concerns, I can't let go of my dream. This is my chance, I insist. Over the next few days, I can't stop thinking about Sydney. I browse photos of the Opera House and Bondi Beach, imagining myself there. I tell my best friend, Laura, about my plan. That sounds amazing, Elena. She says. I want to go too. Her enthusiasm strengthens my resolve. Together, we decide to make it happen. We book affordable flights and start preparing. My parents, though worried, support me as much as they can. My mother helps me pack warm clothes, snacks, and a small notebook to record my experiences. My father, still cautious, gives me extra cash for emergencies. Use it wisely, he says. Finally, the day of departure arrives. Laura and I are filled with excitement as my parents drive us to the airport. My mother hugs me tightly, her eyes teary. Call us as soon as you land, she says. I promise her I will. Boarding the plane feels surreal. Laura and I find our seats and look out the window as the plane takes off, leaving Villamar behind. We're really doing this, Laura says with a smile. I nod, feeling both thrilled and nervous. When we land in Sydney, the city looks vibrant and full of life. We take a taxi to the address Clara provided, but when we arrive, our excitement vanishes. The building is abandoned, with no sign of the school. I call Clara, but her phone is disconnected. My heart sinks as I realize we've been scammed. Laura looks at me, her face pale. What do we do now? She asks. With no money and nowhere to go, we spend the night on a bench in a park. It's cold, and I feel devastated. Why didn't I listen to my parents? I whisper, tears streaming down my face. Laura tries to comfort me, but we're both scared and unsure of what to do next. The next morning, I decide to call my father. My hands tremble as I dial his number. When he answers, I break down and tell him everything. There's a long pause before he says, Elena, I warned you, but I'm glad you called. I'll send you money. Find a safe place to stay. His voice is calm but full of concern. His support gives me hope. With the money my father sends, Laura and I find a small hostel. It's modest, but it feels like a haven after our ordeal. That night, as I sit on the bed, I reflect on my mistakes. I open the notebook my mother gave me and write, dreams are wonderful, but they require caution. I learned this the hard way. Determined not to give up, I start searching for a real language school. After days of visiting different places, I find a small, but welcoming center called Global English Academy. The teacher, Ms. Hopper, is kind and patient. She assures me, Elena, you'll thrive here. The classes are diverse, with students from all over the world: Brazil, Japan, India, and Kenya. I make friends and practice English every day, not just in class, but also while exploring the city. Laura and I even set a rule to only speak English to each other. Months pass, and my English improves dramatically. I write an email to my parents, updating them on my progress. I've learned so much, not just about English but about life. Thank you for supporting me. My father replies, saying he's proud of me, and his words mean everything. One evening, while walking along Sydney's harbour, I think about how far I've come. The scam was a painful lesson, but it taught me resilience. I smile and whisper to myself, this is just the beginning.